Dear friends, what we share in this class is one of the core thoughts of professional entrepreneurs: how to maximize corporate value. Many companies often only focus on developing value at the product level, such as supply chain, R&D, research and development, innovation, production, sales, price, etc., so that the company's products can bring in the highest profits. Entrepreneurs should not ignore another important value reflection in their enterprises either. That is, the value of the company's own operating mechanism and growth space. In fact, the company itself can also be regarded as a product that has value, and this value change correlates to the state of the company's fundamentals and the future growth space of the company. The company's fundamentals are determined by many factors, including the basic business model, the operational efficiency of his organization, the perfection and orderliness of the production system, design system, sales system, financing capability, the degree of standardization of financial management, and external influence, etc. Therefore, entrepreneurs should also pay attention to all these factors at the company level to ultimately increase the value of the company. Here is a basic formula to help us understand how to maximize our company's value. In the first place, the value of a company is equal to the fundamentals of the company multiplied by the company's future growth space. For those who have capital market experience, it is not difficult to draw this conclusion, which is similar to the evaluation method of the market value of listed companies. That is, the company's market value is mainly determined by multiplying its profits by the price-to-earnings ratio, P/E. Profit reflects the quality of a company's fundamentals, while the P/E ratio represents how much room there is for future growth. For a company whose profits may not be high, if its fundamentals are very healthy and it also has huge potential for improvement, we can express its potential more objectively by multiplying profits by the price-to-earnings ratio. A company with core technology and products that has huge room for growth will have a high price-to-earnings ratio. Therefore, we often find that some small companies have high P/E ratios, mainly because they have huge room for growth. The low P/E ratios of some very large companies prove that investors are not optimistic about their future growth space. Therefore, profit multiplied by the P/E is equal to the company's fundamentals multiplied by the company's future growth space. These are two equal concepts. Through the combination of these two indicators, we can basically evaluate the value of a company. As a professional entrepreneur, we must learn how to measure the core value of our business. This is crucial strategic thinking. With this kind of thinking, we need to think about how to make our company's own operating mechanism itself more valuable year over year. We are very good at conducting KPI assessments on our employees so that they have a clear direction to work towards, and they use these KPIs as beacons. However, has anyone set KPIs for their boss? Bosses often don't know what their KPIs are. Here, we want to clearly point out that the biggest KPI for an entrepreneur is a company's value. Bosses need to think about whether, after a year of hard work, the company has become more valuable. Only when the company's fundamentals have a good foundation and the company has the potential for sustainable development will external investors recognize the company's value. The opposite situation is the self-employed business mentality. If the founder is no longer personally involved in the company's operations, the company will be greatly affected. However, a truly great company should have vitality independent of its founders. Here, we would like to introduce to you a testing method. We can try to sell 1% of our shares every year to test whether our company's value is recognized and whether it has been effectively improved. Often, this approach will provide us with a lot of feedback and valuable experience. For example, investors may feel that some of the work did last year helped increase the company's value and some didn't. They might conclude that while profits rose last year, but the company's value shrank. This is entirely possible. Of course, it is also possible to draw completely different conclusions. Although the company made no profit last year or even increased its losses, the company's development and future space have become increasingly broad. More and more professional entrepreneurs will think about how to effectively manage company value. It is also always benchmarked against market prices. Therefore, a company is not just an institution that can make money, it also has its own value. We should think about packaging our company itself and considering well deploying all operating institutions within it. Then the company will run more smoothly and have a broad future with unprecedented appreciation. The wealth this can bring us will far exceed the profit of the product itself. Yes, that's the logic for company operating mechanism value. Please follow me to the next section. The main topic we share today is to broaden customer boundaries and redefine customers. We found that many entrepreneurs are not very good at defining their core users and mistakenly believe that a product can only be sold to one group of customers. Entrepreneurs should re-examine their external boundaries and expand their customer base. In order to find new customers and more extension boundaries, we will introduce a very important model, the ABC GPS model. This model can find new customers in 6 dimensions and introduce our products to a larger market space. First of all, the A represents agent, which refers to the channel. Our products may not be sold directly to end customers. They are sold through agent channels, which have their own channels and ecosystems. In fact, many franchise chain mechanisms are agency mechanisms. They help their agents manage the customers by outputting a standardized system and a standardized management method. For such a strategy, we need to clearly know that our service target is agents, and we serve the final customer through agents. We must design the business model from the perspective of maximizing agents' interests. Especially in the internet era, we must take into account the channels of various online sales platforms or internet celebrity fan effect. Their energy and coverage area are also inestimable. Second, everyone should be familiar with the to B and to C business models. The B is a marketing strategy for the corporation business, which considers whether the product can earn profits through direct sales to the corporation. One of the best stationery brands in China is Deli Stationery. At first, their sales strategy was the traditional direct-to-consumer model, which sold their products through street retail stores. Therefore, their original mode is 2.8Maximize. However, with the advancement of business, Deli Stationery found that traditional marketing methods may not be able to adapt to future trends. Office stationery is increasingly being included in centralized procurement by enterprises and is no longer a high-value commodity. Corporate employees no longer buy their own office stationery, but it has become one of the basic office elements required by every company. After anticipating this market change, Deli Stationery began a marketing strategy to directly target large and medium-sized enterprises. Through this strategy, purchasing companies can directly purchase a full set of office products more conveniently, reducing the company's purchase costs. Manufacturing companies can also better understand market feedback and develop more stationery suitable for corporate offices. Deli Stationery has changed from the original 2.8Maximize strategy to B strategy, which provides them with huge room for growth and makes them the largest stationery manufacturer in China. The third dimension is direct-to-consumer, to C. As we all know, many businesses are currently going direct-to-consumer. However, the complexity of consumer groups cannot be ignored. Consumers in different age groups and territories have different forms of consumption. Therefore, to C also needs to be specifically divided according to different segment groups. Nowadays, social media e-commerce is becoming increasingly developed. Personal hotspot traffic is becoming more and more influential. We need to pay attention to the new trends and update traditional means to achieve strategic breakthroughs into C. Then GPS is a new expanded quadrant proposed by S. In the fourth category, what does G represent? In fact, government customers who possess strong purchasing power are often ignored by many companies. If we can strategically cooperate with government agencies, this will virtually enhance our strength and increase our possibility of entering many large markets. In the fifth category, what does P mean? It refers to partners. The broad term partner here represents all relationships on the manufacturing side except customers and buyers. But buying and selling relationships can also be found among various partners. Taking competitors as an example, many companies regard competitors as enemies. Under normal circumstances, our competitors' needs are consistent with ours in all aspects. If we have the ability to solve our own needs, is it possible to solve certain aspects of our competitors' needs? Group purchasing, or joint purchasing, which is more popular now, uses the principle of merging orders to form a larger quantity of orders to obtain a lower price. If we combine the demand for raw material from several competitors, will the upstream suppliers of raw material give us a better price? This is one material. What if we can aggregate most of the raw materials needs of many competitors? This strategy can easily be transformed us into a supply chain platform. Many companies eventually become industry integration platforms, and industry leaders achieve success through the reverse to P strategy. The last strategy worth paying attention to is S strategy. S here refers to shareholders, which may also be our core users. In many large-scale infrastructures construction processes, the final payers are not ordinary consumers but those shareholder units with relevant strategic needs. Take navigation software as an example. Navigation software are usually free for individual users. So where does navigation software company revenue come from? Some people might say they are selling data or maps. However, navigation software companies have huge operating costs. In order to provide high-quality map services, they need to invest a lot of basic work, including continuously updating maps, which undoubtedly requires huge financial investment. In fact, their main payers are their strategic shareholders, who are usually national or even global internet platforms. What they build is a commercial O2O system, online to offline. The services offered by these giant shareholders themselves must be inseparable from map services. For example, for taxi hailing apps and food order and delivery software platforms, or more interesting like dating apps. They can choose to build their own map system, but this requires an investment of billions or even tens of billions. Or, they can choose to become strategic shareholders of the map company and integrate the map function into their own application. This method is obviously more convenient, faster, and mature. Large companies acquire small ones and take shares in them. A certain business or functional module of a small company is integrated by the large company and becomes part of the complete service system that the large company offers. Such cases abound. As far as the map app company itself is concerned, if it chooses to C strategy, the final result may not be ideal. Choosing the to S strategy and being integrated into or becoming part of a larger system may bring them huge room for growth. Today we are talking about some ideas for broadening the scope of customer groups. Customers and sales are the essence of a company and the basis for profitability and development. We will introduce other clues and ideas about this important topic in the following chapters. We hope that these courses inspire us in order to maximize our benefits. Yes, these are the methods for using the ABC GPS customer model to broaden customer boundaries. Please follow me to the next section.